Hi YouTube, Nathan here from Something or Nothing. Today I'm doing a video to showcase a new piece of kit that I've got and do some comparisons with some other piece of kit that is going to be replacing or supplementing. So it's been made apparent that quite a few of you feel that I may enjoy camping a little bit more if I allowed myself a few more creature comforts. So the main one being that people are suggesting that maybe I should give the tarp up and sleep in a tent, which I am about ready to concede. And in order to do this, Trev has volunteered to lend me one of his numerous tents. But secondly to that, we're looking at other areas in which we can improve comfort. Now, the main one being the sleeping mat. When we first started the channel, I was using this close-cell foam mat. So I don't know how many of you have seen these before. It's just foam wrapped up in some cloth that concertinas in and out. It has its uses. It made a great seat pad, not brilliant at insulating you from the ground. I don't actually have an R value for this mat. There's not a lot I can say about it on that front, but I can tell you, I've got my nifty scales here. The mat weighs 530 grams, okay? So that was my first option. Secondly, I had a Vangogh Trek standard. Now, I don't know if any of you are familiar with this. This is an inflatable, self-inflating pad that is quite comfortable and is quite insulative. However, one major drawback, it's 861 grams. And it's also a very large pack size. But it's not just a large pack size, it's an awkward pack size. I'd definitely prefer it if it was long and thin and you could just slide it down and attach it to the side of the pack. The reason I didn't opt for this is because I was using a tarp and I didn't have the added ground protection of a ground sheet. I have actually had one of these puncture on me before and I didn't have the repair kit and it made for a really horrible night's sleep. So this is actually pretty much unused. I won't get it out, but I'm sure you guys have all seen one of these before. You've probably seen it on numerous other channels. So yeah, comfortable, warm, big, heavy. So after that, and a little bit of research, and again going down the close-cell foam mat route, I went with the Thermarest Ridge Rest, and this is the reflective one, which is meant to be the best insulative value. It does pack down smaller than this. Rolls up quite tight and I quite often just squash this to the side of my bag or put it in the top of my bag. Size wise, it is quite large and it makes it awkward to have quite a nice tight pack, and I do enjoy having a small tight pack on my back as well as I enjoy lightweight. But this is actually quite light and its weight is just over 400 grams. Okay, it's robust, it's not going to puncture, and I believe it has a R value of somewhere around 2.5, R2.5. I think it was 2.8 originally, it might have been downgraded, I'm not entirely sure. If you do know what the R value of this is, feel free to put it in the comments below. Now, I've done some research. Thermarest themselves recommend a R value of somewhere in the region of 4 for 4-season camping. That mat on its own, sort of 2.5, maybe even just under 3, whatever, is not quite up to 4 seasons. I wanted a inflatable mat that was going to be more comfortable, that had a better R value. I looked at loads of mats on the internet, I looked at loads of other people's videos on YouTube, and I looked at as much information as I could. And I've settled on this. Now, bearing in mind that weight and pack size were two key contributing factors to the decision, and it definitely wasn't anything to do with budget. So quite a few of you will know what this is. This is the Thermarest NeoAir Xlite. I don't know if you can see, but I've gone for the large version. These do come in different sizes. The regular, I believe, is only 20 inches wide and 72 inches long. Being almost exactly 6 foot tall, I thought that was cutting it a bit fine. And since they were so light and small anyway, I decided to opt for the large mat. 196 centimeters by 64 centimeters. Hopefully that makes sense to anyone working in metric. Personally, I'd have preferred that in inches. Anyway, That is a significantly smaller package than the other Vangogh inflatable mat that I've got. And the wing lock valve instructions. So I believe the earlier version of this didn't have a wing lock valve, or didn't come with a wing lock valve. So this valve actually has two operations. You can open it up for inflating it, and it won't let air back out. And then the wing lock opens again, which will allow the air to flow out when you want to fold the mat down. On top of that, we have a puncture repair kit. That will definitely be coming with me, because I believe that these things without any air in them have little to no R value whatsoever. And then we have the bag itself. So just for a comparison, that is the Vangogh, and that is the Thermarest, and then significantly smaller when you look at them on a cross section. And the other significant factor that we need to take into account is the weight. Now it says on the box that it's 460 grams, so let's just check that. Okay, with the bag it's saying it's 540 grams, but also inside there is this, which we will come on to in a moment. I'm sure if any of you are familiar with this and have watched any of the videos, you'll know exactly what that is. So the actual mat itself, without its bags, 470 grams. I don't know if the 460 grams is a weight that's quoted as an average, because they come in different sizes, but the actual mat itself is coming in at 470 grams, which is 400-ish grams lighter than the Vangogh. That's nearly half a kilo, so that's quite a significant saving. So let's put the scales to one side. Let's open this baby up. Now, on some of the reviews for these, I did see that people were talking about the fact that it makes a significant crunching noise when you're sleeping and moving on it. So that's something that did sort of concern me, but I figure I'm going to take earplugs anyway, just because the noise of the type was definitely something that was stopping me from sleeping before. So hopefully that won't be an issue. Considering it's quite lightweight, the material actually feels quite substantial. It doesn't feel like it's going to puncture easy. I hope the tent that Trev's going to lend me is actually big enough for me to fit this in, because otherwise I'm going to look like a right idiot. Right, okay, so this is the wing lock valve that we spoke about. So you rotate the black piece to open it up for inflating, and then the wing lock rotates like so, and that releases the air, allowing you to deflate the bag. The other cool thing about this is, and I've seen quite a few people comment on their videos, that when you climb, especially if you're doing a lot of uphill, if you're going up a mountain, the last thing you want to do after a 14-15 mile hike up the side of a mountain or through some mountains is summon all the air you can in your lungs and inflate your roll mat. This is an option that can be used if you don't want to do that. And this is the bag that we looked at earlier. Now this is an air bag that you can use to capture air and inflate the mat with. So let's have a look at doing that now. There's no real knack to the attachment. It looks like it just pushes in. Yeah, just like that. And then I believe that you just scoop some air and then squeeze it into the mat, like so. I would imagine that this would be far more efficient if you were standing up and not sitting down. Although it really does seem to catch quite a lot of air quite quickly. I reckon there's definitely a knack to it that you'll get the hang of if you do it regularly. If you've ever inflated air mats with your lungs before, although this looks like quite a faff, it's actually far easier than blowing it up with your own lungs. It's actually inflating quite quickly. Okay, that seems pretty inflated. Pull the bag off, No air is leaking through it. Just a couple of good puffs. And there we have it. You can see on the video exactly how thick that is, which is incredible. It feels really firm and sturdy. So if you imagine that this was the thickness of what I was sleeping on previously, you can see the significant improvement in comfort that's going to come with using the inflatable mat. As for the noise, I mean, yeah, there is a bit of noise there, but I haven't slept on it. It's impossible for me to comment, but I can't see that that's going to be significant to ruining my night's sleep, considering how much comfort it's going to give. But the other thing I should mention about this is the price. So this, I bought it off Amazon, it was about £170. Okay, so it is significantly more expensive than what I had before, I suppose. I've decided to spend some money. This was recommended by several people, I believe on one of the live chats that we did. I'm going to give it a go. So hopefully in a very short while you guys will see me and Trev out camping, and you will hear my thoughts on my first night on the NeoAir Xlite.